like left foot out. We might have to put our left foot in and shake it all about. And we'll do the pokey pokey, and we'll turn ourselves around. Because now I'm going to swing my point a little bit more to you guys. You're all welcome to listen in, but I'm talking to you here because you asked me, and I took requests. Those of you who were unlucky enough to draft me as your math teacher, I came to education as a second career. I worked in engineering for 12 years. I designed diaper equipment Lexi. They were rectangles, and they split and cuts off the legs. I worked on that engineering team. I worked in food processing, and I ended as a plant manager of a job shop. And I wanted a different feeling. I had a vision, a dream, and a passion to do it. I said yes. Or my wife said, I said, what the heck. I followed my passion, even though that broke some unwritten societal rules. Got to put our foot in, put our foot out. And now you've reached the finish line, but I'm calling it a starting line. Because your learning must continue. And I'm not talking about school learning. Most of you will not factor binomials every day at your jobs. Or if you do, I'll see you at the teacher's lounge. Don't use my coffee cup. You're making migration from an environment where we, staff, make sure you did your work, or we found some way to motivate you. Now you're moving to an environment where you'll be given opportunities. You choose whether to take them or not. Whether that's secondary schooling, military, workforce, anywhere down here. That means Mr. A is not following you around any longer. I am not going to check up on you. But you really only need an opportunity if you're doing something you love, something you are passionate about, something that aligns with your dreams. That is empowerment. That allows you to tackle any job or assignment. And when you run into a wall, just turn yourself around. Passion is what powers that. It is one of my traits. I use it every day in teaching. Anyone who's had any class knows. I sell out for this. And I feel my passion and staff passion has left a mark on it. Even as my career wound its way from engineering to teaching, I tackled every job with passion. I ran span maintenance as meat and can span. You think I was picturing that as I sat in your chair as a high school graduate? But I used passion at that job, and it still pays dividends today. I am ready for the zombie apocalypse because you know I know double C games, right? You freaked out? I use it when I remodel my home, when I work in my garden. It doesn't matter the task. I go at it with my all. Make your effort level undeniable. Take on every job like it is the best thing ever. Just last weekend, I had to dig a ditch. And I dug it really well, and water flowed down. That passion then allows you to measure your success. I can say you measure your success from here out. No more grades. So you've got passion, and that sometimes requires you also be brave and say yes. I have stories. I often talk about my stories in class, right? I was a French plumber. I was a Warrior King. Multiple engineering projects, from spam to diapers to iron coffee. I did pool installation. I flipped houses. I was a bed and breakfast owner. Sonics installer. Fortnite champion so many times. 2 years. I saw a chance. I said yes. Give it a try. All those things make me better at what I do now. You will get better too. But I also can say no. And remember that when you say no, you're really saying yes to other things. It's hard to find the line. We'll keep society may try to refuge. by your success or job title or pay or type of job. But you need to decide what success is and let the rest all depend. But knowing digging ditches is not below me, and digging ditches should not be below you. Next, help others, family, acquaintances, heck, even strangers. Being kind costs nothing. And family is what you decide. I have 3 kids that I pay. But I also have Amanda, my daughter, who came to our family through foster care. And now I have a grandson, Eli, which you've all heard about. And this summer I'll have a granddaughter from Amanda, who I keep telling her to be shot. We choose who we love. And you've seen this helping people firsthand. I'd be remiss not to mention Green Team. We asked ourselves how to help our school, our community, our world 4 years ago. And now we have 3% of our energy generated on this sunny day on our road. Success, right? But you get to decide. So seniors, you're still in the school building, so no chat time. Let's do some classwork. 3rd row, 11C, pay attention now. You're at the starting line. Be passionate, say yes. Your success you measure, and help others. Great news, you're well prepared for this. Evansville is a community of character. Character is sometimes in short supply in the greater world. Be prepared to meet people less scrupulous than you. If you're ready, you understand right and wrong, hard work versus deceit. Stay on the bright side of that line. I'd love to say that high character decisions are easy and there's no conflict, but often taking the right path is longer and harder. When you do something good, you'll know it, because someone will yell at you. And when you're doing good things, ask for permission, not forgiveness. But also remember, when you're testing those lines, when you screw up, own them. Get to work, make mistakes and opportunities. Trust me, when you look back at situations where you choose to have high character, you'll have no regrets. You also have a responsibility moving forward. You have been provided a great starting line here. All students in all areas of our country deserve this. Your well-being and our well-being depends on the future students. Be sure they receive the chance you have. Education is a great equalizer. So enjoy this moment. Be brave. Say yes. Chase dreams with passions. And live life. Because that's what it's all about.
gratitude, and most importantly, the class of 2024. As we stand on the brink of new beginnings, let's take a moment to reflect, express gratitude for, and anticipate our future achievements. We are here as a result of our dedication, hard work, and perseverance against all odds. Over the past 13 years, we have stuck together through thick and thin, making relationships along the way. Some of our paths may have never crossed, yet we come together and breathe a sigh of relief as we cross this finish line. In this next chapter, we will pursue our passions that we have discovered over these past few years. And we will always be reminded of how Evansville High School shaped us into the graduates we are today.
In September 2011, 13 years ago, eager for our very first day of school. I'm sure we all remember that day in some vivid sense that lingers today. We remember meeting our kindergarten teacher who welcomed us with warm arms and our first classmates who we made early connections with. We still recount some of our earliest memories from this time, including random crafts we made or finger paintings we thought would appear in a museum one day. The nostalgia of our popcorn days continued as we remember how stressed we were after forgetting our quarters in hopes that we could find some spare change. It was here that we discovered early stereotypical passions. Some of us wanted to be police officers, teachers, professional dancers, or the next Picasso. Some of these passions got to shine in our yearly talent shows at the intermediate school. Our imaginations were endless, causing us to imagine a future full of possibilities, yet those same opportunities remain.
As we transitioned into middle school, we found ourselves in a completely new school where we suddenly felt like we were growing up. We saw the world begin to change around us. We gained a new sense of understanding of our world, even if that understanding was through Immigration Day, as teachers yelled at us on a crammed bus, with passports being denied soon after, and then being told we had lice. Our social relationships also began to grow as we conversed and danced around at every middle school dance, no matter how hot it was or how much odor there was. Every couple that danced during a slow song was expected to get married, but somehow they broke up the next day. Little did we know it would be our last normal year for a while. In 8th grade, we found ourselves in an entirely new situation in both the first and second half of the year, as we found ourselves adapting, a skill that would serve us well as we enter the real world.
And now, we sit here after a life-changing 4 years at AHS. As each year has gone on, we've each grown as an individual. I think we can all look back at our freshman self and see a completely different person than the one sitting here today. This growth occurred as we found our passions in different areas and began to form relationships that have shaped us into who we are today. For many of us, our most deeply rooted memories are from the experiences in which we were able to explore our interests. Our class would be found furthering our passions by spending long hours in the art, music, shop, gym, and ag departments. Each of us leaves with our own specific memories from the time spent in these places. As for outside the classroom, it will be hard to predict the increased anticipation that we felt during homecoming week, nearing the big game. Some of us looked forward to playing on the field or in the band, or yelling as hard as we could to show our Blue spirit. We would be remiss not to mention the tremendous impact that our teachers have had on us as well, even if it's not in the way we thought it would be. Thank you, Mr. Meyer, for showing us what real fashion was on Halloween with your raccoon onesie. Thank you, Mrs. Bona and Mrs. Adams, for being our great therapists and always helping us with our essays, even if we both knew they weren't our greatest work. Thank you, Mr. Pastrone, for making sure we get our work done so we avoided a wrestling match against you after school in the parking lot. Finally, thank you, Mr. Cobb and Mr. Hankey, for making sure we aren't alone during this time, since you're also leaving the school with us.
Though we mentioned just a few, we are all unable to express our gratitude for the lasting impression that every staff member has had on us. But the biggest thank you goes to the class of 2024, as we supported, encouraged, and made lifelong memories with each other. And now, we are each taking new steps to the futures we desire. Each of us will carry the memories and skills we have acquired here to become successful, no matter what path we may be on. Congratulations, class of 2024. As we reflect on the lasting impact each of us has made and lifelong memories we have created together, it is clear that our journey has been filled with both challenges and triumphs. These experiences have shaped us into the individuals we are today. In the spirit of celebrating our shared journey, I'd like to introduce a poem that encapsulates the essence of our time together and the futures that lie ahead. This poem was written by one of our own talented classmates, and it speaks to the heart of our experiences, the friendships we built, and the dreams we're now ready to pursue. Please join me in welcoming Olivia Sinchak, who will share this special piece with us.
To my graduating class, I am overwhelmed by a thick summer air and bent over the lawn of our elementary school, crowding a little more than 100 dandelions into my hands, but am unable to close my fingers around their stalks. We rip or crack or peel them for their milk, rub them for their dye, or pick them for our friends, our teachers, to keep for later, and find bloom with seeds after the weekend's end. We play Mr. Wolf or Heads Up 7-Up on our fold-open desks when the year ended, and the weedy flowers dotted the yard in the late spring, early June, or July. As I recount those days, those lovely knots on the petals we pulled or decapitated with rhymes, I'm reminded that not one day has gone by on the last day of school where I did not cry. It's a secret tradition of mine. And now we're here, and I'm before you, beside you, in the halls, at the lockers, behind you to the right or left of a seat in a classroom, on a stage, eyeing the audience, the stands near the field. I blew, and your patterns did too. Some of you were not here until recently, and some of you left. And though I do not know each of you, and there are some whose name I forgot or failed to learn, at one point in time, I walked down the second grade corridor and way below, prideful in the names that rolled off my tongue and the knowledge your very existence granted me. Oh, how we buzzed about writing books and digging tunnels in the snow, our collective disobedience on the blacktop, our movies in the pit. We were tattletales, we were wonders. We did not understand what it meant to have that pride, that we were never without it. We were small, oh, so very small we were. And yet, we've outgrown each other and expanded the range of our dictionaries to those farther and behind our class, began to plant our love elsewhere, and that is fine. There are people here who I have loved more deeply than they could ever know, who have made me more awkward than a pathos in the wind, want to join classes I would avoid otherwise, say things I couldn't bear to say. And it is not a romance, it is not a schoolyard crush, though I appreciate versatility like one, though I indulge like one, disregard my better senses like one. I am not in love with my class, no, but I do love them. There are friends here who I never thought I would cherish so greatly, friends who I never got to make, and so I ache. I'm overwhelmed by how little I do not know, and mortified by what you may remember of me. There are people who have seen me at my worst, people who have held me, who I have held, will continue to, and never will again. There are enemies here who I never thought I would love, yet I do. And it pains me, friends, that I cannot bunch the flowers together, that all of you are unable to fit in my hands even though they are now grown. Oh, how very small the seeds are. Many of you I have hated, and for each of you I do. There is another who thinks the same of me and simply wants to leave this little building forever, this little town, and forget about the sprouts buried in Leota. And that is fine too. We are all bittersweet to see high school die, I think. With people in our ears telling us what we must do to succeed, what it means to have pride in ourselves, how to utilize it. Now, we fear we've lost it, and many feel as though they never found it in the first place. Because the air is like air, and the weeds look like weeds, and the gown is too hot, and this hat is too tight. And the future isn't something to deem as dark, or something to deem as so bright. And to that, I would say you are right. Our colors will always be blue, our skin will always sweat, and I will always cry on the last day of school. But the dandelions will always be yellow, and the dandelions will always bloom, and its pods will fly, because the wind will always blow. Kids will always push them out, make wishes, and grow up. And though my palms will never be able to wrap around this bouquet your existence has accidentally picked for me, there are no love-me-nots from these petals. I will always love you, I will always worry for you, but I will never lose faith in you. Because to have pride in oneself respect in others. And if I cannot offer you encouragement, friendship, or certainty, then the least I can offer you is this: an overwhelming sense of security in the idea that we were never without it and never without each other. That the flowers, the weeds, will always come back in June, July, or in time. And now a selection of music from our high school wind ensemble.
system recognizes students and their outstanding academic achievement across all curricular areas. Our final lauded group is for students who graduate with the summa cum laude honors. Students, please stand with your hands tall and stay standing, and audience again, let's hold the applause to the end. Alexandra Saber, Annabelle Zaleski, Finley Baumberger, Trista Byro, Nolan Burkholder, Declan Cobb, Isabella Crossan, Arthur Cunningham, William Day, Kelsey Deegan, Kennedy Dobbs, Wesley Everson, Emma Hammond, Natalie Harrell, Noah Hayden, Michael Horgan, Alina Alandarede, Alexandra Klitzman, Dawson Cuff, George Lamptey, Sydney Langton, Wyatt Nelson, Natalie Peterson. Congratulations to our summa cum laude group.
China Hermanson. Natalie Harrow. Noah Hayden. Michael Horgan. Orion Hunt. Joshua Furta. Elena Evelyn Alandarede. Ian McGregor. Lazarus Marshall. Avril Maya Martirina. Dominic Alice Martinson.
Please stand. You may now turn your tassels. Board of Education members, District Administrator Letsky, EHS faculty and staff, and Evansville community members. As principal of Evansville High School, I certify these 136 individuals have met the Evansville Community School District and State of Wisconsin requirements for graduation. I hereby officially present the graduates of Evansville High School's class of 2024. Congratulations.